let's haul some books. Friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Lexi, and today we are obviously doing a book haul. So obviously I have a giant stack of books behind me. So these are books that I have bought over the last couple of months. I'd say probably end of August, all of September, and up until this point in October, which it is October 9th when I'm filming this. So this is kind of a collective fall book haul, if you will. Most of these books I bought because they gave off cozy fall vibes, spooky fall vibes, Halloween horror vibes, or I'm building my TBR for winter. The only like seasonal TBRs I do are fall and winter, and at this point right now, all the new like winter holiday releases are starting to come out, so when I see them in person, I do pick them up because I am slowly but surely building my winter TBR. I don't even know where to start with this. I guess we'll just start from grabbing from the top. I am not talking about these in any particular order. I'm kind of just grabbing from the pile, but I think I do have them sorted out of like hauls or stores that I got them. So let's just start. The first book I have here is Black Ice by Becca Fitzpatrick. This is for my winter TBR. I got this at a Barnes & Noble in Kingston where I was working for the day, and I loved their Barnes & Noble. Actually, I think the top 3 books here I got from that Barnes & Noble. So this says, sometimes danger is hard to see until it's too late. Britt Pfeiffer has trained to backpack the Teton Range, but she isn't prepared when her ex-boyfriend, who still haunts her every thought, wants to join her. Before Britt can explore her feelings for Calvin, an unexpected blizzard forces her to seek shelter in a remote cabin and accept the hospitality of its 2 very handsome occupants. But these men are fugitives and they take her hostage. I'm not gonna read any more than that because I wanna keep this video somewhat short, but I bought this because I love a good like snowed in cabin thriller. I've never heard of this author or anything about this author, so I'm very excited. I think this is a YA thriller, so should read fairly quickly. The next book I have here is also from Kingston, Barnes & Noble, and another holiday read, and this is Make My Wish Come True. Look at how beautiful this cover is. Well, these are the 2 authors right there. This was pretty much a cover buy for me, if I'm being completely honest. 12 days of fake dates, 2 holidays, 1 chance to convince everyone they're in love. I think it's a Hollywood teen actor. She's constantly in the tabloid. She has a messy reputation, and I think she wants to like head home for the holidays for the first time in 4 years. And then our other main character is like trying to get into the journalism program at a top school, and they go on 12 fake dates to kind of fix one of their reputations. The journalist gets a story out of it. That's all I know. Holiday rom-com, clearly. The next book I have here is Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. This is the traditionally published copy, obviously. Everybody is raving about this, and I honestly have no idea what it's about. All this says is, when old secrets catch fire, everything will burn. Honestly, I didn't need to read anything else. I didn't want to read the synopsis of this, and believe it or not, I actually have not read the synopsis of this, but I want to go into this blind. Look at this copy. Got really pretty end pavers. Oh, I was expecting the bare hardcover to be a little bit like better, but it does say Spark of the Everflame. I don't even think you're gonna be able to see this. It's kind of like engraved in there. Yeah, you're not even gonna be able to see this, but I think this is so funny because the indie published copy is like so short and thick, and this is like not that long. We shall see about this one. I'm hoping I love it. I love the traditionally published cover, so I'm very excited about that one. Next, I have a book here that I recently thrifted from the Savers in Brookfield, Connecticut. This is Long Bright River by Liz Moore, who is also the author of, let me put it this way, God of the Woods. And it says, 2 sisters travel the same streets, though their lives couldn't be more different. Then one of them goes missing. I think I'm gonna put this on my winter TBR. I don't know what it is about this book. It gives me winter vibes. I don't know why. I did thrift this one, and I'm excited for it. That's all we're gonna say about that one. Oh, also, the first 3 books that I talked about in that same trip, as I was going to the bathroom before I left, I saw this Harry Potter World of Stickers book, and there was only 1 left, and I was like, oh, I need that because, you know, I'm in my Harry Potter era, and I'm slowly but surely working my way through the books. So I figured this book would be perfect to make journal spreads for when I read Harry Potter. Oh my god, this is hard to shape. There's literally just so many different Harry Potter themed stickers, and I just thought this was so cute. Like, look at how pretty this cover is. That's that. I'm not really gonna say much more about it, but I'm so excited for this sticker book. There's so many stickers in here that I want to use, so I guess I gotta get to my next Harry Potter read. Okay, next I have a really random book from Amazon. I started watching Larry from Larry Reads, and her mom made her October TBR, and she put this book on it, and when she read the synopsis, I was like, that sounds perfect to read like the day before and the day of, and maybe the day after Halloween. And that is Little Stranger by Lee Rivers. It is a very dark romance, I think, and it's the Web of Silence duet book 1. On the back it says, owning her is all he ever wanted. She betrayed him and now he wants revenge against the sister who became his forbidden obsession the second he laid eyes on her. After she sends him to prison for years, he's free and ready to haunt her. Everything about Olivia belongs to Malachi Vise, her mind, her body, her soul, her fear, her pain. On Halloween night, he can no longer lurk in the shadows. All he has left to own is her heart, even if he needs to take it. Maybe we'll read this in October and read it on Halloween night. That could be really freaking spooky. I don't know. It's short. I feel like I could read it fairly quickly, and yeah, that's it. This is also really random, but I got myself a new journal for my book bullet journal for 2025. I got the STM. What even is this? I don't want to open it because I want to open it when I actually start doing my bullet journal. I'm gonna do a home video of it like I did last year. I usually get the Dingbatch journal, but they only have 2 different designs in the journal that I like, the size that I like. I already have both styles, so I was like, I don't want the same thing. It's from Scribbles That Matter. It's STM, and it is the B5 bullet dotted journal, and the paper weight is 160 GSM, so that's what I got. It's in here. It's like this really pretty light pink color, and then the details are like a pastel green. But figured I would throw this in here because I do have it, but again, I am waiting to open this until I actually start my bullet journal for 2025 and make a video out of it, so stay tuned if you want to see that. Next is a book I don't know, guys. I rated this book 4.5 stars, but I really think it's a 5-star because I have not stopped thinking about it, and I bought the special edition paperback of it. But I won't change my rating on Goodreads because I don't want it to mess up the order of my books that I've read. Crazy things, but that is When the Moon Hatched by Sarah A. Parker. I bought it with the sprayed edges. I have a feeling that when the second book comes out July of next year, they're gonna publish it in a hardcover with sprayed edges. So I was like, well, I need to make sure all my copies match. So I was like, I might as well buy this because this is probably how it's gonna come out next year. And I don't want my copies to be mismatched, but I will obviously keep the indie published version of this because I love this book so much. When I read it, I originally put it as a 4.5 star, but I literally have not stopped thinking about that book since. So I think it's really a 5-star read for me. I absolutely love this, and I'm definitely gonna need to maybe reread it next year when the second book is coming out because a lot happened in this book and I wanna be refreshed for when I read the second book. So got this. Next, this also was from that Kingston trip where I got the Harry Potter book, but I have the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore, which is the second book to the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. They're just like little cozy, small town spicy romance. For some reason, my camera just cut me off. I don't know why, but I was saying that the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore is a small town spicy romance, and it says all it takes is a little bit of sugar and spice. I mean, look at these covers. Like, does that not scream cozy fall to you? Like, I want to go to this bookstore and sit out there and drink a coffee and read a book in a cute flannel or sweater. So got this. No, I have not read the first book yet, but fine, it doesn't matter. I saw it, I had to get it. These next 3 books here, I actually just got yesterday. I went to a used bookstore in Monticello, New York. It's called Read It Again Bookstore. The 3 books I got from there are Carry On by Rainbow Rowell. This is a book that I have looked at multiple times at Barnes & Noble and been like, I want to get that because I read a graphic novel which Rainbow Rowell worked on and really liked it, and this just always sounds so cute, but I don't want to buy it full price. I don't know why. But this says Simon Snow is the worst chosen one who's ever been chosen. That's what his roommate Baz says, and Baz might be evil and a vampire and a complete git, but he's probably right. Half the time Simon can't even make his wand work, and the other half he set something on fire. His mentor's avoiding him, his girlfriend broke up with them, and there's a magic eating monster running around wearing Simon's face. Baz would be having a field day with all this if he were here. It's their last year at the Watford School of Magics, and Simon's infuriating nemesis didn't even bother to show up. It says Carry On is a ghost story, a love story, and a mystery. It has just as much kissing and talking as you would expect from a Rainbow Rowell story, but far more monsters. That just sounds so cute. For $1.50, I was like, I would much rather buy it secondhand because I'm not sure if I'm gonna like it or not. So I was happy to find this. The next book I found at that store is The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver, which I have already read this, but, and I don't know when this is gonna happen, I wanna do a reading vlog where I read old favorites from like when I first started actually reading. reading, and this book was on my list, and when I found it secondhand for $1.50, I was like, hell yeah, I'll take it. I remember loving this book. I'm pretty sure this is about Lydia, who her husband Freddie died. It kind of goes through her grieving process after, and like she takes like pills or something to fall asleep, and she's living like her real life where she's really sad and depressed about missing Freddie. And then when she takes this medicine to sleep, she like dreams about Freddie and like their life, so it's kind of like her going back and forth between those two worlds and kind of deciphering like what's real, what's not, almost. I don't know. I remember absolutely loving this, so when I saw it secondhand, I was like, oh, that would be a perfect book to add on to my rereading old favorites video. So stay tuned for that. Might not be till next year, but we're gonna try. The last book I got there was The Magicians by Lev Grossman. I saw the third book on one of their fantasy shelves and I was like, oh, that sounds good, but obviously it's a third book, can't read that. I read the synopsis and I was like, oh, this sounds really good, and then this is what got me. It says, no one who has escaped into the worlds of Narnia and Harry Potter should miss this breathtaking return to the landscape of the imagination. Literally when they said Harry Potter, I was like, oh, count me in, and decided to get this, and this was only 75 cents, so perfect. The next two books are books that I bought probably back in September from, I don't remember which Barnes & Noble, but I know they came from a Barnes & Noble. This first one that I'm going to talk about is a very highly anticipated read for me, and that is Somewhere Beyond the Sea by TJ Klune. This is the second book to The House in the Cerulean Sea. So the first book is about Linus Baker, who basically works in like child services, gets sent to this house where there's a bunch of magical creatures. He kind of gets out of his routine and has to deal with like these not insane, that's not the right word. These like really difficult, challenged, magical kids, and he ends up falling in love, and that's all I'm gonna say. But this is the second book. This is actually on my October TBR. I also love these sprayed edges, but I'm very excited to return back to this world. That was a brief description, I'm sorry. This next book I got is Immortal Dark by Tegis Girma. I have no idea, I'm so sorry. Also, can we talk about these sprayed edges? It says, no soul can enter without an invitation. Look at the end pages. I don't think I even really noticed that. Oh my god, so pretty. Okay, I'm not gonna read the whole synopsis of this because it's long, but it says, a lost heiress, a soulless vampire, a secret drenched in blood. But I got this because everybody was like raving about it and seemed like they love it, and I love the special edition, so I'm gonna hopefully read this in the month of October, maybe early November. The next book I have here is The 13th Child by Erin A. Craig. Look at these gold edges. I love how Barnes & Noble is now doing their own like exclusive editions, because now it's not so impossible to own special editions. Oh, look at how pretty these end pages are. Look at the naked. Oh my god, I didn't even see these when I bought this book in store. Look at how beautiful this hardcover is. Oh, just kidding, it doesn't go to the back. But look at how pretty that is. That's so pretty. Guys, Hazel something has always known she wasn't like her siblings. A 13th child promised to one of the gods, she spends her childhood waiting for her benefactor, Merrick, the god of death, to arrive and take her away. From the astonishing mind of Erin A. Craig comes the breathtaking fairy tale retelling readers have been waiting for. What does a life well lived mean, and how do we justify the impossible choices we have to make for the ones we love? Just skipped a huge part of the synopsis because I don't want to bore you to death with synopsises. That sounds really good. I think this is a YA fantasy. I don't know if it's actually YA or not. Don't quote me on that, but very excited for this. I love this cover and obviously love the gold edges, so got that. The next two books are very highly anticipated reads for me. The first one being The Last One at the Wedding by Jason Rekulek, I think is how you pronounce it. I don't know. I loved Hidden Pictures so much. Gave it a 5-star and have not stopped thinking about it since. So I saw that he was coming out with this a couple months ago, and instantly I was like, okay, I need to own that book. What is this about? It says it's been 3 years since Frank something last heard from his daughter, and he's devastated by their long, unhappy estrangement. But then an unexpected phone call from Maggie changes everything. She says she's getting married and she wants her father to walk her down the aisle. Frank is overjoyed by the news. Here at last is a chance for reconciliation, a perfect opportunity to repair their fractured relationship. But a disturbing discovery about his future son-in-law leads Frank to wonder if Maggie is making a terrible mistake. And once he arrives at the wedding, an extravagant 3-day affair set at a luxurious lakefront estate, the warning signs keep piling up. Can Frank unravel the truth about Maggie's fiance before it's too late? Sounds so good. Like, so good. And I loved Hidden Pictures, so I have nothing but high hopes for this, but that also scares me a little bit because what if this doesn't live up to my expectations? I'll be sad. The next book is another highly anticipated read from an author I know I love, and that is We Solve Murders by Richard Osman. I didn't even care what this is about. I just bought it. because I love the Thursday Murder Club so much, and if it's anything like that, I'm gonna love it. So this says, solving murders is a family business. Steve Wheeler is enjoying retired life. He still does the odd bit of investigation work, but he prefers his familiar routine, the pub quiz, his favorite bench, his cat waiting for him at home. His days of adventure are over. Adrenaline is daughter-in-law Amy's job now. Amy Wheeler thinks adrenaline is good for the soul. Working in private security, every day is dangerous. She's currently on a remote island protecting mega best-selling author Rosie D. Antonio until a dead body and a bag of money mean trouble in paradise. So she sends an SOS to the only person she trusts. As the thrilling race around the world begins, can Amy and Steve outrun and outsmart a killer? Does that not sound amazing? I love Richard Osman. I don't know how you say it, so don't judge me. I love his writing. I love how like intense his plots are and how there's not really much fluff in the story that's like useless, but they're just like so cozy. So I cannot wait for this one. Next, I have another book for my winter TBR, and this is The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year by Allie Carter. I'm so excited for this. It's just like a little tiny Christmas novella, but it's like a cozy mystery. Knives Out gets a rom-com twist in this rivals to lovers Christmas romance mystery. I don't even think I read the description of this. I was like, okay, a Christmassy murder mystery, thriller, romance, rom-com. It's short and cute. Sign me up. The next two boxes I have here are very exciting. One is Book of the Month, which obviously I have subscribed to for many, many months, years at this point. But I also got my very first Aardvark book club subscription box, which I'm so excited to open. So let's start with my Book of the Month, which while I'm opening this, you can get your very first Book of the Month book for only $5 when you use the link in my description box. It's not an affiliate link. They're not sponsoring this video, which I would love to work with Book of the Month. So if you want to sponsor me, let's talk. My email is in the description box, but when you use the link in my description box, you get your first book for only $5 and I get a credit for the next month. So it's a win-win. So if you haven't checked out Book of the Month yet and you want to, use the link in my description box and thank me later. So first we have our bookmark. It says, I always know my place. I love that. I love how their bookmarks are now a lot longer and skinnier because obviously all of their books are hardcovers. I only got one book this month, and that book is Dearest by, I don't even know how to pronounce that first name, by this author. This is the cover. It is so creepy, and I decided to go with their horror pick because this just sounded so good. A new mom in need of help opens the door to her long estranged mother, only to invite something much darker inside. Laura is a new mom enamored of her baby girl Iris, who has arrived a few weeks early. But with her husband still deployed, Laura must navigate the newborn stage alone. As the sleepless nights pass in their half-empty home, the edges of her reality begin to blur. Household items seem to move of their own accord, and Flora is certain someone is talking to Iris through the baby monitor. Just as Flora becomes convinced she is losing her mind, a surprising guest shows up to help. Flora's own mother, to whom she hasn't spoken in years. Will caring for the baby help them to mend their fraught relationship and start anew, or is there more that Flora's mother isn't telling her about the events that led to their estrangement? Does that not sound creepy as fuck? I am so excited for this one, and now my camera battery is gonna die. If you wanna check out Book of the Month, use the link in my description box, and just, you'll love the subscription. I've loved it for years. I think I'm going on 3 years at this point, and I've never been disappointed, so make sure to check it out, and I can't wait to read this friggin' pick. Camera batteries changed. Let's open our very first Aardvark book club box. I'm so excited for this. Aardvark is very similar to Book of the Month, where they give you like 5, I think, choices, and you can choose a couple, and it's just like Book of the Month. I don't have a code with them because this is my first month ordering from them, but I did use code Her Literary Life, and I got my first book for only $4, and I think it was their, oh, mine's a little broken, it's fine. It was their 2-year anniversary, so they gave me a free holographic bookmark, which is so freaking cute. This thing is pretty nice. And the book I chose this month is Where I End by Sophie White. I think this is another thriller horror, but like this is so short. I feel like I could read this really quickly. Let's read what the description on Aardvark says, because that's confusing. It says, a modern gothic horror where a young woman falls into a dark obsession after a new artist and her baby arrive on her small Irish island. That sounds so good, and I'm so excited for it, and very excited to have Aardvark for the first time. It comes with something else. I'm pretty sure they do like monthly challenges. Maybe not, I don't know. I got this cute little postcard with it. This is because it's their 2-year anniversary, so these must be all of the choices they've ever had so far. So very excited to finally join Aardvark. So far I like it. I feel like the shipping did take a while, and the only thing I don't like thus far is that you can't track your shipping on the actual app. Like for Book of the Month, for example, you can go on the app and see your order summary, whereas I feel like on Aardvark you can't do that, which is weird. So far so good. Hi friends. Popping in the next day because I actually went to Barnes & Noble today in Poughkeepsie and got 2 more books. So I figured since I didn't edit this video out yet, we can add these 2 books in. I was in Poughkeepsie today for work and they have my favorite Barnes & Noble, as you've probably heard me say 1,000,001 times. And I went in there and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna look, and obviously just looking, what is this hair? What the hell are these hairs? Obviously just looking always turns into buying. So let's talk about the 2 books I bought. I at one point had 4 books in my hands and I was like, all right, homegirl, you need to narrow this down because you cannot buy all 4 of these. First book I have here is Never Keep by Caroline Peckman and Suzanne Valenti. These are the authors of Zodiac Academy, and I've heard, I wouldn't say terrible things about Zodiac Academy, but a lot of people, sorry about this son of my hair. A lot of people say that the writing style in Zodiac Academy is awful. Sorry, this hair is driving me absolutely insane. We're just gonna ignore this hair. I don't know what's going on. I don't know where these baby hairs are coming from. Anyway, the authors of Zodiac Academy, I've heard nothing but weird things about Zodiac Academy. Like I've heard that the writing style is terrible, but it's so entertaining that people usually don't typically care. But those books are thick, and there's like 9 books in that series, and this is I wouldn't say it's like a spin-off series, but it does take place in the same world. But I did read a review on Goodreads that said you absolutely do not have to read Zodiac Academy to be able to read this. In fact, she thought it was better to read this first, and then if you're interested in Zodiac Academy, you can jump into it that way. So it says, the dragons are lost, the elements are at war, enlisting isn't optional, and I'm falling for a man who wants me dead. I'm a wielder of hearts and summoner of corruption, heir to nothing and born to a fool in the wrong damn month. But I'm also one of only 2 fae in this divided land of Helians who might be starting to see through the lies we've swallowed for so long. In the year we turn 21, conscripts from across the warring nations of air, fire, earth, and water are sent to Never Keep, the only place in our besieged continent where our magic can be awakened. But something is wrong inside Never Keep. Something which might extend far beyond the reaches of this desolate fortress. Within the gothic walls of this frigid castle in the snow, we're left to hold our own against the brutal fae from the opposing lands. The reapers are merciless, the royals are lying, the werewolves run rampant, and vampires roam the wastelands in bloodthirsty covens. But even though death lurks in every shadow of the keep, it's the least of my worries. I'm delving into secrets the stars don't want me uncovering, making alliances with fae born to be my enemy, falling for a sinner, while promising my heart to a different heathen, and somewhere amid it all, I'm supposed to win a war. I thought the only thing I had to do was survive my magical instruction. Turns out fate doesn't favor the wicked. That just sounded so good to me, and I love this cover, and I love the back. Does this have a pretty, nope. So, I don't know. We're gonna see. This is the first book in the, what the hell is the name of the series? I don't know what the name of the series is, but this is the first book, so I got that. And then I also got Pucking Around by Emily Rath, and this is one that I'm so unsure about how I'm gonna feel, because usually when a romance book is this long, they don't end up like doing it until the very end. And if you know me, I don't like slow burn, but everybody talks about how spicy this is, so I was like, all right, let's just add it to the winter TBR. This is a spicy hockey romance series debut. One ambitious woman scores a major career goal, but when it comes to all the hot options in her personal life, why choose? I don't think I've ever read a why choose romance. I don't really know what that means. I'm assuming it means she has multiple people and she's like, well, why should I choose either? Like, why can't I have both? This was like a last minute pickup. I saw 1 copy left, and this has been floating around in my brain for quite some time. And when I saw it, I was like, all right, screw it. Like, let's just do it. This is 573 pages. For what reason? These are the other 2 books I added on today. That is officially it for this book haul. Now let's cue the outro. That is it for this fall book haul. I hope you enjoyed. Definitely a lot of books, but they were not bought in just 1 month. It's been about 2 months, maybe 2.5 months that I've accumulated these books. Let me know how many books you've bought in the past couple of months, and let me know which one you're most excited for. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to my channel and you hit that notification bell so you're notified every time I upload a video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.